A young girl lived and shared meals with 7 men, and as a result, all 7 brothers fell in love with her and wished to marry her. The story took place in a distant kingdom. Out of boredom, the king embarked on a journey around the world while the queen was pregnant. The queen, longing for the king, gave birth to a beautiful and lovely princess, but the king had not yet returned. Later, the king obtained a magical mirror. Through the mirror, he could see the queen as well as his homeland, and he realized how long he had been away, so he immediately returned. Upon returning to the palace, the king intended to present the magical mirror as a gift to the queen, but accidentally broke it. Overwhelmed by the sudden joy and shock, the queen nearly collapsed. At that moment, the young princess stepped forward. Perhaps due to years of longing and worry, the queen cast a gentle gaze at her daughter and then closed her eyes forever. After the queen's death, the king was heartbroken, but a year later, he quickly married a second wife. This new queen was fair-skinned, slender, and exceptionally intelligent, but proud and arrogant. Meanwhile, the young princess grew more beautiful with each passing day. The king had already chosen her fiancé, Prince Ulysses. The queen became jealous of the princess's beauty. On the day before the princess's wedding, the queen asked the magical mirror whether she was the most beautiful woman in the world. To her shock, the mirror replied that the princess was the most beautiful. Enraged, the queen could not tolerate anyone surpassing her in beauty and conceived an evil plan to kill the princess. The next day at the wedding, the queen sent people to intercept the princess's carriage and bribed her maid, instructing her to lead the princess deep into the forest and leave her for the wolves. Sensing danger, the princess questioned the maid about what she had done wrong to deserve this, and promised that if she survived and became queen, she would reward the maid. Touched, the maid took pity on the princess, let her go, and returned to the queen, falsely claiming that the princess had been devoured by wolves. The poor princess wandered lost in the forest. After walking for a long time, she came upon a small wooden house. The yard was silent, the interior cozy, with carpeted benches, an oak table beneath a religious icon, and a tiled stove. The princess sensed that kind people lived here, and that she would be safe if she stayed. In the evening, the 7 warriors who owned the house returned, and warmly invited the princess to dine with them. From then on, the princess lived with the 7 warriors. They went hunting each day while she took care of the household chores. Meanwhile, Prince Ulysses searched far and wide for the missing bride, asking everyone he met but finding no trace, and weeping in despair. Over time, the 7 warriors gradually fell in love with the princess. One morning, they all confessed their feelings, saying that although they regarded her as a sister, they wished to marry her, but since this was impossible, they asked the princess to choose one of them. The princess, having no other choice, revealed the truth. She cared for them but was already betrothed to Prince Ulysses. The eldest warrior immediately apologized for their audacity and promised never to mention it again. From then on, they continued living together harmoniously. Eventually, the queen discovered through the mirror that the princess was still alive. She vented her anger on the maid, ordering her execution unless the princess died. The queen then obtained a poisoned apple and forced the maid to deliver it to the princess. To save herself, the maid disguised herself as a poor nun and went to the home of the 7 warriors. The kind princess, seeing her plight, offered her bread. In gratitude, the maid gave the poisoned apple to the princess. Upon eating it, the princess immediately lost consciousness and fell to the ground. When the 7 warriors returned, they were heartbroken. Though the princess had stopped breathing, her face appeared alive, and they could not bury her. They built a crystal coffin and placed her in a hidden cave. That night, the prince asked the moon about the princess's whereabouts, but the moon did not know. It suggested he ask the wind. The wind told him that in a cave atop a high mountain lay a crystal coffin containing his bride. Following the wind's guidance, the prince crossed the mountain and reached the princess. Miraculously, at his call she awoke. The queen, seeing this through the mirror, immediately sent assassins after them. The prince fought desperately to protect the princess, but being outnumbered, he was overwhelmed, until the 7 warriors arrived just in time, defeating the attackers and saving the princess. The queen, seeing her plan fail, died of rage on the spot. The king, overjoyed to see his daughter safe, immediately held a grand wedding for the princess and the prince. The 7 warriors, honored for their heroism, became distinguished guests at court. The story concluded happily, though the king, true to his nature, soon developed feelings for the beautiful maid.